Okay. So, yes, some products are on the back side of your sheet. To tell you how much they're used, even I don't have these memorized. I have to have the yellow sheet to do these. I use these exactly one time for one certain kind of problem in Calc 2. Otherwise, we don't see a lot of these. They have their moments of usefulness in special situations, but it's kind of special situations. Okay, you will notice the top four above the little line. It's always doing what? The sines and cosines there. You have sine x plus sine y, or you have sine x minus sine y. Back row, you plan to listen. Or I have cosine x plus cosine y. So the top four, the left side, is either adding or it's adding, subtracting sines, adding, subtracting cosines. What does it change it into on the right-hand side? Turns it to multiplication. Okay, why would you ever want to turn something to multiplication? So things can cancel, yeah. That's the biggie. That's the primary reason for this. So the left side is changed, you have addition and subtraction, and you're changing it into multiplication, usually so that you can then cancel something. Is your ultimate goal for using these. Okay. And then if you look at the bottom four, you're starting with multiplication, and what's it change it into? Changes it back to addition and subtraction. So these are just identities that let you switch back and forth between sums and products. Actually, it's sums and differences, but... So, yes, the purpose is to switch between addition and subtraction.
Journal.
Yes, this is a journal question. Switches between addition and subtraction of sines and cosines. To multiplication, or vice versa. You can go from multiplication back to addition and subtraction.
Instead of saying to change things into multiplication, make it easier to cross things off, does that work too?
Kind of. I could probably live with that.
Probably going to take half one off.
Well, we have to tell Michaela that that's an okay answer. All right. So, all I'm going to expect you to be able to do is read these identities and simplify something with them. They are probably, for the most part, going to show up in the true-false section. Okay, so if I, in this case, gave you the sine of 40 degrees minus the sine of 100 degrees and said, it'll say, change it to a product. What identity would you attempt to use to change that into a product? It's a sine of an angle minus the sine of a different angle. So I will buy those who said the second one, because it's a sine minus a sine. Okay, that identity says do what? 2 cosine of, what do you do the angles? Add the two angles, so 40 plus 100 over 2. And then the second trig function is a sine, and you subtract the angles in the same order and divide by 2. And then you need to go simplify that. Okay, so that would be 140 over 2 is 70. And then negative 60 over 2 is... Now, the one thing they won't do is they won't let you leave negative angles as answers. So we have some identities that tell us what to do when sine is a negative angle. Yeah, it's on sine, they're right below the 8 fundamentals. On sine, yeah, it's pull the sign, the negative in front. But where's front in this case? Yeah. Since these are all multiplied, that negative would have to come clear to the front and become a negative 2 cosine of 70 degrees, sine of 30 degrees. And ta-da, you have changed your sum or difference into a product. That'd be your answer. Not too hard. Okay, let me see if you can do one going backwards. Suppose this time I gave you cosine of 4x, sine of 12x, and I want you to turn that back into a sum or difference. You have a cosine times a sine, which on the bottom 4 identities makes it the second one again. I guess I like the second one. So on the bottom 4 it says write out a 1/2 sine of what plus what? 4x plus 12x. That's your variables, like theta. It's your angle. And then it says subtract and do the sign of, thank you, 4x minus 12x. And then go simplify it. The half is always just going to sit out front. So that would make me have the sign of 16x minus the sign of what? Negative 8x. Okay, here's another example of a negative angle. In this case, where do you move the negative? Yes, since this is a subtraction, yes, you would just pull it to just that one term, it would make it a plus then.
Would you add the same signs that you have them?
You can't add signs, that's like adding, this is like 160 degrees and 80 degrees. Those are different angles, you can't add them. You can only add them if they're like angles, so no, you're stuck right there.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I'm really going to ask you to do with it. I did on this review sheet because I've, in past years when I have more time, if we're actually like haven't had any snow days, then I actually have to verify with this. So there are a few verifying back there. I didn't give myself a review sheet. I'm borrowing a call for a second. So if you're wondering how I got, okay, look at number 31.
Why do I want to look at 31?
31, or could be another one on there. Or maybe I killed it.
You killed it.
Maybe what you're good at. 31's the last one.
31's the very last one, and yeah, that's the only one. Okay, what would be a dead giveaway that you probably need to use a summon product identity on it?
Numbers, minus signs.
And look at the angle. 6 thetas, 4 thetas, all those weird angles. I wouldn't be doing anything else here. If you got something that strange and bizarre, it's one of these identities. So, if I was to throw you a verify like that, it would only be a extra credit.
Good.
Okay, so all I expect you to do on the true false, you will see some of these, and I will just be simply have you check and see if you can apply the rule and see if my answer is the correct true or false. So that's all I'm going to ask you about those.
There is a word.
Two problems?